lucky I was ready to go live because I accidentally pressed it. I was like, wow, just as well, I was lucky. Lucky I was ready. All right, I'm gonna do 20 minutes of free psychic readings. And when I was getting ready, I was like, okay, let's see how many people I can get done in like 20 minutes. And I was like, Hannah, I don't know about that. You always say that stuff and then like you just never, you always talk for ages. But anyway, I can try something new, can't I? So let me share this and I shall be present with you guys. I'm curious how you're feeling after the bit of ranting and raving live stream the other day. Hey, that anger needed to come out. It's like, oh, that's better. Voice my words. My heart is free or something. All right. Let me get this happening. Post this in this group and this here. All right. Let's see who wants a free psychic reading. I'll just post this on my personal page as well. Yeah, there we go. Okay. All right. Hi, Candace. Hi. All right. So let me try and do as many as I can in, you do. All right. In 20 minutes. All right. I nearly pressed the wrong button. Let me switch this camera around because it's important you guys see the card when I'm doing this. All right. Did that turn around? Yeah, it did. All right. I was concentrating. All right, so Candace is first. I was like, how many people can I fit in 20 minutes? Let's go. What's the time? Oh yeah, okay, cool. I'm watching the time. Okay, here we go. How's I'm all like shiny? It was like really hot today. And I'm like, oh yeah, it's gonna be hot in summer. It's just like, got a taste of it today. It's beautiful, but. Ooh, Candace, secrets, the links. The card of secrets. Wondering what that's about for you. What secrets are you holding in? What secrets are you hiding? Or who is hiding secrets from you? I know a little bit of your story and your history, so I'm like, you know who's going to come to mind as soon as I see that card for you. Yeah, exactly right. Let me just bring up this just so I can get the right comments here, just in case they disappear off my screen. Perfect. Okay, so this is card number 2, more likely the latter. Yeah, that's what I thought too. So links magic can be utilized when you need to keep a secret or to stop gossip. It is the perfect magic to weave when you are making a vow to yourself or to another. A magic that is wild in nature is best focused in its intent. Ensure you are clear with your intentions up front. So also, are you speaking your truth in the situation? Cat, well, I know this is a lynx, but this is cat, deeply connected to your feminine intuition. Look, it's orange, deeply connected to your womb, and your womb is where we just say our life purpose. I know we've been working together and I know that we speak a lot about that sort of thing in there. All right. Yes, let me get through. Like, this is awesome. I'm going to see how many people I can get done. So, kind of interesting for you, Candace. All right, so Jackie. Is Jackie still here? I'm only going to read for people who are here. So if Jackie O'Sullivan is still here, let me see. I want to try how many people I can get in. How's I like just jumped on live stream? I'm like, no makeup. I'm like, oh yeah, I could do a live stream. And now I'm like, oh, maybe I should have done my hair or something. You're so welcome. All right, is Jackie still here? Because I'm throwing cards everywhere. All right, I'll see if Jackie's still here. If not, I'm going to choose somebody else. So, hi Natalie. So if you guys want a card, let me know. Just say yes, I would love a card, please. Jackie's still here. Okay, awesome. I was just tuning in. I'm like, is Jackie still here? I'm like, is this for you or someone else then? So this is the card of equality. Look, more orange on the card. So the links, okay, it's not really focusing. Maybe I need to like get out of the way. Why isn't it focusing on the card? So there's 2 seahorses on there, and this is the card of equality and balance. Oh my goodness, this is not working today with the light. Okay, there we go. Ding. So 2 seahorses, the card of equality, the card of balance. And it looks like a little girl in the middle. So, oh, thanks, Jackie. Still look great. Okay, I'm like, I didn't even think about that. I'm like, let's just go live. Sure, why not? What I do off scene is what I do on scene. So the card of equality, I'm also getting the card of balance for you, Jackie. And so when you look at the little girl in the middle, that makes me wonder, I'm like, so are your needs being met in this situation? Are you putting yourself first? Or is the situation that you are in, I'm getting work for you specifically, but this could also, you know, of course it can mean intimate relationship as well. So the seahorse, the equality, oh, it's not a little girl. It looks like a little girl on the camera, but I guess she's like a maiden, just like a teenager. So are you like specifically, hang on a sec. I've got it's so weird. I've got a lot of these people who are, how do I, hang on a second. There's a way to do this. Oh, maybe I can do it here. There we go. People jumping on my live stream and like telling people to like, give me psychic readings. Like inbox me and I'm like, really guys? Like, do you really get business like that? Because it's pretty fucked up. Anyway. All right. So back. This is the maiden. Are you able to give in balance, or are you feeling drained and let down in what you're giving? Like, you know, is there a balance there, or are you burnt out and, you know, not able to get your needs met? And not meaning like, you know, like, I want to say like, well, my needs are important too. And it's like, well, yeah, they are actually. And so I look tired, do I? I've got no makeup on, and I was up at 3 a.m. on a training call. So, so yeah, maybe that's why. No makeup. Yeah, real and raw. And so with this card, like, are you actually getting your needs met? And like I said, it looks like an inner child, like it looks like a young girl, but when I actually look at the card, she looks more teenager. And there's been a lot of maiden energy around for myself personally. But the maiden is definitely like that purity. And so for you specifically, Jackie, I would be like, I'm getting the message like your 15 and 16-year-old self. Yeah, your 15 and 16-year-old self. Have you actually, you know, like, I don't know, like what was going on at that point in life? And like, did something happen that has kind of put you into this role of like, well, my needs are not important. Maybe I shouldn't like, you know, do this, or, you know, like maybe I just need to make sure that they're okay, like that sort of thing. Do you know what I mean? Like that feels what that is about there. So Jackie says, always giving and never receiving, tough life at the moment, starting my own business, and that's a bit hard. Yeah, honestly, the first few years are hard. That's why a lot of people don't do it, or they start and they give up. Don't give up, because the rewards are worth it, which I know you know, but it is that. So something I'd be looking at then, now you've said that as well, is working on that teenager self. Because maybe at that 15 to 16-year-old part of you, like at that time in your life, is where there was a big, I guess, chunk. And as we said, I had a lot. I had a very tough upbringing. Yeah. So working on supporting her, yeah, will almost, I don't know if it's like take the load off what you're feeling now. Yeah, because energetically, you know, like you're doing business, like, you know, and I'd be looking at the reasons underneath why you're doing it. Not that anything's bad, but it's kind of like, if we're doing it from this place, it's going to feel more energetically burdensome, if that makes sense. So yeah, I'd definitely be working with that. I'd air it, but too much. Yeah. Yeah. A lot of this stuff is what I work with people on my 21-day shifter program, and we clear out all that stuff. Like, yeah, there's so much. So I was saying there's so much maiden energy around. I'm like, yeah, there's a lot of that cleanup going on right now. So yeah. Yeah. But hang in there. Don't give up, because yeah, it's worth it, but it's not easy. It's not easy. I said to one of my clients this morning, I was like, she's like, you know, starting to learn about money and millionaire mindset and how to be a millionaire. And and she's like, I'm really interested in this. And, you know, and she's like reading this book and she's learning about it. And I was like, yeah, like, and the people who, you know, like want to be a millionaire or want to earn more money in general, right? Whether it's an extra like $5,000 a month, or whether it's an extra 20 million a month, right? An extra $1 million a month. Either one of those, like, you've got to look at your money, you've got to learn about it, you've got to be around people who are earning more than you, right? And, you know, she's getting really excited about it. I was like, well, and she, like, some of the stuff she said, I was like, yeah, it's not easy. It's not easy, and it's stuff we're not taught in school, and it's definitely something that a lot of people kind of, like, go into, and they're like, oh, and then they get triggered and they walk back from, right? Because in that sense, it's then looking at, you know, like money triggers, and, you know, what you're not willing to look at, where your drivers are. But I said, if it was easy, everyone would be a millionaire, right? And whilst it can get easier in the start, it's always hard because we're learning new things and we're clearing out all our childhood stuff and You're a mum of 4, huge, right? So huge. So little things that you can start doing is also, you know, like, maybe you already do this, but like in the shower or something, or even when you're going to sleep, you know, being able to like cleanse your energy with the shower water. But just simple things like, you know, it's okay for me to receive, I am receiving now. Like, those tiny little snippets can really start to shift our energy. Yeah, even though it might not feel like much, and you're like, oh, it's like 1 second in the shower, right? But what happens is those 1 second bits start getting bigger and bigger and bigger when we start to create more space in our life and energetically release what is like holding us back and pushing us down, right? Yeah. You're so welcome, Jackie. Yes, I'm live, Christina. Okay, so I said 20 minutes. Let me see if I can get everyone in here. Okay, is Liddy still here? Liddy, is it Hayla? I don't know how to pronounce your name. Is Liddy still here? Because I won't read for someone who's not here. And Sonia, is Sonia still here? I was seeing how many people I could fit in one little reading thing, because I usually talk for ages, and I'm like, what if I try and pull everyone a card instead? Okay, so Liddy's still here, because I've shuffled these cards before. I'm like, so this was for this person. So interesting. So interesting what we're just talking about, right? So this card is fear. It is the hyena, and it is fear. And you can see on one side there's like this lush land, yeah, and beautiful lush land, and then on this side is like, it's all dead and barren. And it's interesting, I need to show you this bit. This is the card of the soul, right? When you look at the butterfly, and actually there's been a lot of butterflies around for me lately. This is the soul. So we're coming into your purpose, and it was interesting, we're just talking about the maiden, right? And clearing out all of that, because our inner child holds the key to our life purpose. It's where we trust our intuition, it's where all the wisdom lays. But usually we're covered in all the crap from our childhood. And so I work with people a lot to be able to shift all this crap out, yeah? So it's interesting. So Liddy, interesting that the fear was on top of the soul, yeah? And it feels like there is something, your wings are wanting to bust out, or maybe you're trying to make things happen at the moment and they're busting out, but it's almost like you take 1 step forward and then it feels like 10 steps backwards, because the fear, you're like, yes, oops, yes, so amazing, yes, let's do that. Soul's like, yes. And then all of a sudden the fear kicks in, and it's like, oh, but what if this happens? And what if this happens? We're going to die. Like, literally like the death, you know. But what you have to also remember, in the message I'm getting for you, Liddy, is that we do go through a death of the soul to come back to the light. And I feel like part of the message I'm getting for you, Liddy, is that you're going through an initiation right now. And so part of what you are going through is an initiation for your wings to be able to fly completely free. Yeah. So that's the message for you, Liddy. And so, okay. I'm going to pull a card for Sonia. So let's have a look here. So you right now, yeah. All right, let's have a look here. This is for Sonia. Clearing the excess. Beautiful stingray. So Sonia, I know that you've just like gathered an entire island together to do a big like clean up rubbish time thing. Check it out. Clearing the excess. So Liddy says, yes, I believe you're right too. Many blessings. Thank you. Yeah, you're so very welcome. So Sonia, it says you are entering a transitional phase and would benefit from clearing away excess clutter, which is in your physical body or your physical space. And I think I saw on your post that you were like, I've been here for all this time and like there's so much stuff here. It's been like, it was too big a job on your own. So you gathered the island together to do that. But then I also wonder, like, and so this message coming to mind, like, it's interesting, like the stingray. So two messages. So when we're like, you know, all the rubbish, for example, that you're seeing, so you're seeing it in, you know, go for a walk or whatever, right? And even though we're like seeing straight ahead, we still see with our peripheral vision, right? And all the peripheral vision, that peripheral vision is like going into our subconscious more than what the 10% is that's going into our normal eyesight, right? That's huge, guys. When you think about it, of how much we actually see with our peripheral all the time, that's embedding in your subconscious. And that's why it's important to clear the clutter around your home, energy, space, all the things, because that's what you're seeing all the time subconsciously. So if you've got low energy and you feel like shit or whatever's going on and your house is a pigsty and you can't be bothered cleaning because you feel like shit, honestly, like force yourself to clean. Set a timer for 30 minutes and do as much as you can in 30 minutes because you're going to clean up. And the energy starts to shift and then all of a sudden you're seeing clean and it's like, oh, energy flow, right? Your subconscious is seeing the energy flow too. Really important. So, Sonia, with this as well, so the subconscious stuff, but this stingray manta ray is going along the bottom and it's almost like sucking up the bottom, like they're like I don't actually know what they do. Like it seems like this one is filtering through the sand, yeah, and it makes me wonder what you're filtering through right now. Yeah, it's almost like you're cleaning out to move back to Australia. Okay, awesome. But you're filtering through. But the final important point that I want to point out for you on this is that the stingray, or technically the manta ray, is connected to lepidolite in the liquid crystals. And lepidolite is all about conscious feeling and the heart. And so it makes me wonder what you're sifting out about the heart and what is like, you know, what is it that you're discarding, or I don't know. It's kind of interesting. There's something about conscious feeling and allowing yourself to feel what is deep in the subconscious there. Yeah, I feel like it's almost like it's sifting through, but maybe it's going to surface soon. Yeah, maybe that's what that's about too. So these cards, someone asked what cards these are. These are Whispers of the Ocean Oracle cards by Angela Hartfield. I think you were talking about this deck that I'm using right this second. That's what that is. Okay. So is Meg Grace still here? I'm just going to see that she's here before I pull another card. So just seeing if Meg Grace is still here. Hey guys, someone asked if I feel like if I'm tired. Like, you okay? You look tired. And I'm like, oh, now you made me like full self-conscious because I just jumped on here with no makeup, no nothing. I'm like, oh, let's just go live, shall we? You're so welcome, Sonia. Yeah, you're so welcome. All right, so if Mag Grace is not here, so Tammy, I think that you're coming up as Reality Awareness. Tammy's one of my team because there's like Reality Awareness has just put in a comment. Yeah, so Meg's here. Okay, awesome. Hi, Dynamota. All right, so this is for Meg. Okay, got lots of ocean theme going on here. Whispers of the Ocean. Oh, I just realized they're almost all ocean. Whispers of the Ocean, the Oracle of the Mermaids, Lucy Cavendish, and the Lemuria cards, Beyond Lemuria, Beyond Lemuria, and then I've got the animal deck here. So I'm feeling called to pull a Lemuria card. So if I do look tired, I was up at 3 a.m. for a training. I did have an hour nap, but yeah. When I'm up for a 3 a.m. training, I just stay awake because I can get so much done. I was even thinking before, I'm like, I have achieved a lot today. This past couple of days, I've actually been like on the ball and like shifting that. Thank you. Thanks guys, your beautiful comments making me feel better. I'm like, well, this is just me natural. Like I could have put makeup on, but it's actually really hot here today too. So I'm kind of like all sweaty and stuff. I'm like, oh, whatever's. I don't care. I actually don't care. This is me, raw, real and live. Don't like it, can go away. Okay, so this is for Meg. Oh, and so I know someone was in here before. So was it Jackie O'Sullivan? I don't know if she's still here. And Jackie, I don't know if you're still here, but she was talking about how she's working on a business and it's really hard and she got 4 kids, and I'm like, yeah, don't give up. The hardest part is always at the start. And it's interesting because even this morning I was like, 3 a.m. the training went to about 4:30 and I'm like, oh, should I go back to bed? And the sun started coming up and I'm like, this is the time I usually get up. I was like, oh, I'll lie down and just see if I can get to sleep. But because I had a coffee, I'm like, well, that's just not going to happen, right? And I was like, and then I was like, I chose to get up and I only laid down for a little bit because I'm like, I'm not going to go to sleep with a coffee in my system now. And real, raw, and live, loves it, yes. And yeah, and I was thinking like this morning, because I just started getting so much done, like I'd done so much by 9 a.m. Like I was like, wow, I just like fit 8 hours into the space of like 4. And I've, there's a thing when you get up early, people are like, I don't have time and blah, blah, blah. And yes, no worries, Tammy. And when I was like, thinking, I was just like, wow, I got so much done. Like people complain that they don't have time or that they're too tired. And I'm like, I was tired. Like I went to bed at like 11:30. So I didn't have many hours sleep to get up at 3 a.m. right? But I do whatever it takes. And the training that I got up for fully opened and activated me. Like, yeah, I could catch the replay, right? But there is something that happens when you join a live training. Would you agree? There's something different about joining a live stream rather than a replay, even though replays you still get lots out of. But when you join a live training specifically, like I had all this download. Like I was just like, wow, I've just like got the next course planned out actually, which I'm really freaking excited about to release to you guys soon, because this is something that's really near and dear to my heart. And I'm just like, so, and for the fact that I haven't actually downloaded and created and opened the doors to a new program for a while, and I feel really excited. I feel nervous about it, but I feel so excited. And that all came through from the training. And it's like, and people are like, I don't have time, and I get tired, and it's like, yeah, like, well, where do you want to be in 5 years time? Like maybe that's not your goals. Cool. Well, don't like, have a go at someone who's doing that in a way. And I know not won't having a go, but it was just really interesting that I was even thinking that this morning. I was like, I get so much done getting up at 5 a.m. And yeah, so really interesting. Can't wait to see what it's going to be. Yes. Oh no, I'm really flipping excited about it. It's actually really next level. So I'm so excited. Thanks guys. Okay. So This card was for Meg, wasn't it? Yes, I got sidetracked. But there's a reason I was saying about that, because honestly, like if you want to, the reason I started talking about that too, for me, like I'd rather go to bed early and get up early because I work best in the morning. But that, you know, like when you get up at 3 or even 4, like you've got another 2 hours before the household wakes up. Like you can get so much done. There's so much flow, especially at that time in the morning. There's something special about that time in the morning. It's like, you know, changing from night to day. Like there's a portal that happens there. And if you're open to it, so much comes through, right? Okay, so this is for Meg. Important Lemurian card coming right up. Oh, check it out. Oh, what is the card? Oh, water, the overflow. Talk about all these ideas coming through at the change between what was it? Dawn, yeah, at dawn, right? From night to day, or from day to night. I find the same thing. Like, you know, it's like I didn't plan to live stream and then the sun's going down. Like it's literally just gone down. If you see my story, there's like the sunset. Like, well, it was just about sunset. And I was like, oh, let's just jump on live. I'm like all sweaty from the hot day and everything else. But hey, let's go for it. So, Meg, it's so interesting. Water, the overflow. We're talking about the ocean, Lemuria, like Whispers of the Ocean and the Oracle of the Mermaids cards. And then we've got water, the overflow. So, Meg, for you specifically, sorry, I'm just trying to find the book. These are new and I'm still learning them. What I'm getting from that is I'm wondering if you've been feeling tired lately or whether you've been feeling pretty good with lots of ideas flowing through. But I don't know, I feel like you have maybe been a little bit burnt out. I'm curious about that. So if you can let me know how you've been feeling. And I'm just going to see what jumps out. Because the message I'm getting really strongly for you, Meg, is that you have been receiving a lot of new downloads, a lot of new, like, you know, ideas, like the actual meaning of the card. It says abundance, non-attachment, the paradigm of no scarcity, allowing financial and energetic gifts to flow through and create more. And that's the thing, like allowing financial and energetic gifts to flow through and create more. Like, it's interesting, allowing for flow, receptivity, the path of least resistance, purity, clearing away that which no longer serves, and emotion, yeah? So really interesting there about that, because this is like, you know, like as I've been saying in all my posts and in live streams and everything, like there has been a lot of high frequency energy coming in, right? And this high frequency, that's what I talk about in the crown, will really be like flowing through if you're not able to contain that energy. And it's not about containing and holding on to it. It's about the containment of your energy field so that you can channel that into what you're meant to do. So, okay, put my tits away. I don't want to put my tits away. Thank you very much. This is what I wear in my day-to-day life. Check it out, right? These are riding up. This is literally what I wear every day. No makeup, it's hot, it's sweaty. I jumped on live. I'm not gonna put my tits away because I live in my tops, my crop tops. I live in my bikinis. I'm usually at the beach, but now I live in the country, so yeah. All right, so, and it's my live stream. I will wear whatever the fuck I want. Thank you very much. All right, so Meg was sent a message there and I got distracted. All right, so last week I slept for about 20 hours on Monday and then about 12 on the Tuesday, and I usually only sleep for 5 to 6 hours. So interesting. And then I was full of energy since then. Yes. So some people are like, oh my God, I'm so tired. Why am I sleeping so much? Or what's wrong with me? Or blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, the best thing, and it's interesting because what the message was coming through before I got distracted by someone's telling me about what to wear on my freaking live stream. Like, I don't know, I'm getting a lot of comments on this live stream and I'm like, oh, well, that's kind of interesting because I'm stepping up to like be who I am and really coming into myself and being confident. And I'm like, oh, all this like, all this backlash is a sign that I've definitely shifted to the next level. So yeah, anyway. So what I was just about to say, Meg, is what I just reminded me of before you put in the message that you went and slept for 20 hours and then you've had like all this energy since then. So the biggest piece about this is something, there's a book that I've got, I can't remember what it's called. It's something about the red woman, but it's not the red woman, but it's about tapping into your, I guess your red potent, you know, nature. I don't know how to describe that, right? But what that is literally, you know, like reminded me how much I used to just be in flow. I used to just do what I want, wear what I want, sleep when I want, you know, and I really lost that stepping into business. And I was like, right, get back into business and, you know, business owner Monday to Friday and blah, 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 blah. And it was like this space around, well, you know, like, where's, like, I've stepped back into the monotonous. I was like, and so like recently, and this is why I'm getting all this backlash on this live stream, because I've really come back into that pyre. Oh my goodness, the pyre. How interesting. That's the witch stake burning thing, right? Coming into Halloween, coming up soon, guys. I need to do a live stream on that. There's some big energy around soon. So the fire, right? And the fire and the passion. Now it's interesting, there's been a lot of high frequency energy. Meg, in specifics, when you'd said you'd slept those hours on those days, there was big solar flares around those days, right? Specifically on those, well, around that time was when they were really at their peak. And what happens is literally like this energy on this card literally floods through your system, which can make us tired. It burns away all the crap, right? Burns away all the stuff. And the thing is that when we let ourselves sleep, when we need the sleep, we are like coming into, like, we're trusting the flow. We're coming back to that feminine trust and the passion and the flow and fully following that. Like, it's a thing, right? So when you are able to let yourself sleep and just not think something's wrong with you and I'm getting sick or I'm like whatever, like, no, like, sleep is the best healer. Like, sleep, then crying, then drinking water, and then all the rest. Like, honestly, like, sleep is the most powerful healer. And if you can let yourself sleep like that, you're really allowing yourself to integrate the high frequency energies on a deep soul level. So no wonder, and I'm covered in goosebumps as I say this for you, no wonder you have had this beautiful, like, you know, energy flow since then, right? And you're really allowing the feminine, allowing for flow, receptivity, the path of least resistance. Yeah. And so that's really tapping you into that feminine and trusting when you need to sleep for 2 days straight, and then like having all this energy and like, it's go time, like, you know, use all that energy in creative ways. Whereas sometimes if we're stuck in rigid roles and rigid ways, we will like push through that tiredness. And then for me, if I'm overtired or if I need to sleep and I push through, I end up overeating. I end up eating and snacking all the time. And then I feel like shit, because ultimately I would have slept for half an hour and then I feel like magic, like I did today, right? I was like, okay, let myself sleep for an hour and then I'll get up and look, here I am, right? Straight out of bed. How about that? So yeah, it's really awesome that it feels like you're really allowing a deeper level of trust with yourself, with your soul, with like all the things. And I feel like coming for you is going to be like a big, I don't know, maybe you've already had a big download of ideas or something like that, but I just feel like you are tapping into your potency, your power. And check out the bottom card of the deck is the infinite. I want to get that lighting. It was like awesome wherever it is. I don't know. How amazing is that image, right? It's like deeply opening to that, because when we step in and trust that receptivity and that flow, that's what we're allowing ourselves to open to, is the complete infinite wisdom. And in there is all the answers to everything that we need and all the answers to everything that we, you know, have. So usually I would push through, but my kids went to their dads for that part of the holidays and I just followed what I felt. Isn't it interesting? Because that's the thing, we usually get like that. We do, right? And sometimes we kind of have to as a parent, you know what I mean? And we just need to make it happen. But when we can have this space, like when we can do that, we tap into a whole different level. And especially when, you know, when our kids do go and we allow that first day or whatever to just sleep rather than push through, or whatever we feel like doing something that, like, I should be doing something else, I should be doing that other thing, but I'm allowing myself to do this. You have more energy. Why? Because you're listening to soul. So when I was pulling a card for someone else on this live stream, the name has just gone past me, is exactly what we're talking about with this message, right? This is the soul, and what came out in front. Oh my God, what's all these people on my live stream today? Just blocking people off my live stream. It's mine. Thank you very much. So this here, like this fear on top, and that's why like, yeah, like this amazing like life, let's do all the color and the life. And then it's like this one is like, oh, but I'm gonna die, like, and the fear kicks in when we step into soul, and we're like, yes, and we're fully trusting, and then we're like, oh, but all the old patterns come up, and we're like, oh my god, but if I do, you know, and that's why we push through, and then we get burnt out, and we end up looking like this, right? Fried, right? So yeah, I'm kind of a little bit fried right now because I didn't have much sleep, but I don't care because I'll go to sleep. That was the plan, go to sleep tonight early, but I'm wide awake now, so who knows? I might follow flow and create the course that's coming through. Keep an eye out for that. Yeah, I'm really excited about that. Okay, so Freudian sleep with the crap, certain people were saying too. It's so interesting. I'm like, where's all these people coming from in my live stream? Agnes says, I think that person is so rude. You wear what you want. It's right. If you have it, hun, flaunt it, fuck them. Yeah, that's the thing. I'm like, this is what I wear in my everyday life. Like, yeah, I could go get all fancy and come on live stream, which sometimes I do. But when I'm just around the house, especially when it's hot, this is my like standard attire. So I'm just like being comfortable. So yeah, that's okay. All right, let me see. No need to explain myself. That's hilarious. I know. What is with that? Oh my god. Age of Aquarius. Yes. Yeah, so if you are exhausted, obviously check in. Water, what are you eating, blah, 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 blah. But it's really important that you that you're able to let yourself sleep, because there's like, for me, when I'm that tired and when I know solar flares or anything's going on, like even coffee doesn't keep me awake, but I can set my timer and have a nap for 30 minutes. Sometimes it usually ends up into an hour because I'm like snoozing, or like today I did an hour because last time I pressed snooze for an hour. I was just like, okay, just let myself have an hour today, and yeah, I feel amazing now. I could have kept sleeping, but I chose to get up. But I had to get on a call, but I still let myself get up. Okay. All right, so yeah, I just blocked her, Dynamata. People come on my live stream. I'm gonna block them. Hey Dawn, what's going on? All right, who would like a reading? I was only gonna do 20 minutes, and hey, look, here's like half an hour gone. All right. Okay. There's a deck here that I haven't used yet, and I want to use it. So, who is this card for? All right, Leanne. Leanne's onto it. Let's go. Okay, Leanne. Visions, how interesting. Full moon. So we've just gone the full moon. Coming up, new moon next week. But the visions, so I feel for you, Leanne. I actually feel like when I first saw this card, I'm like, oh, it's time for you to trust your clairvoyant gift. But more of like, it's time for you to step out with your clairvoyant gift was the message that I was getting there for you. So Teresa says, I've been depressed lately. I only want to sleep, working on self-love and loving all others. Yeah, so the biggest self-love you can do is let yourself sleep when you'd love to sleep. And so for me, like if I have an early morning or a late night or anything like that, I'm always planning ahead, like in a sense of like, okay, I need to go to bed at sundown. Like sometimes I'm at bed at sundown. If I didn't have that afternoon sleep this afternoon, I'd push through, I would be in bed by now because the sun's just gone down. So Leanne, I feel like this visions card for you is stepping out with your psychic gifts, stepping out for your gift. Like you are highly clairsentient, and you might be like, but I don't see, because I know you're highly clairsentient, right? But it's not, even though this is about visions, right? And the thing is, it's that a lot of people receive visions and they don't actually realize and acknowledge them. So I feel like there's a big part of that. So I feel like this is about you catching those visions and really starting to like, you know, like notice when you are. And then we were talking about this in the third eye chakra week with the daydreams. Yeah, that's exactly what this is about, right? But I feel like this is about you stepping up. See how she's like coming up, like up. She's like swimming up to the moon in a way, or up past the moon. It's time for you to come up and out with your gift. Yeah, that's what we really get really strongly for you about that. Psychic images, clairvoyance, seeing and out of body travel. Like you are super, super highly clairsentient. And because of that, that is your clairvoyant gift as well. Bottom card of the deck, for some reason, getting the message to read that for you as well. And this is sisterhood. So friendship, allies, companionship, compatible souls, loyalty, joy, and delight. And I feel like you are really starting to find that companionship, that, you know, the friends and the souls that you can trust, the tribe that you can trust, and that's enabling you to come into greater depth and clarity with your gift, and like, I guess, the confidence to come out with that more in a way. It's interesting, both these cards are very similar color, and not all the cards in this deck are that color, even though this is like, oh my god, this is back to front camera. Oh, I'm pulling all the blue cards. Look, they're not all the same color, right? Was that a message for someone? Look, I love this card. It's so beautiful. Falling in love. It's always such a beautiful card. Kissing the divine in another, in yourself. It's the masculine, feminine balance coming into that. Yes, more and more lately after releasing others. Yes, so important. So important. Time to really honor and own your gift. All right, so let's see. All the blue cards, yeah, the third eye, that's what I was talking about it for, actually. Okay, so Shari, I'm going to pull a card for Shari. All right, from the Divine Animals Oracle. Interesting. Raven. This is the raven, and see how like in the raven's beak is actually a man with his sword and his shield. I don't know if that will focus enough to see that. Okay, if I hold it still, you can see, right? And the raven is holding him in his beak, and this is about news. Now, it's very interesting that crows/ravens haven't been around for me for a bit, yeah? And just maybe the past week to 10 days, they've really been in my awareness. So for me, when crows are around, number one, it signifies death. But for me, it's more like a death of the soul, a death of, you've just gone through a massive life change. Something has let go, whether it's a relationship or you moved house. I know you moved recently-ish. You know, or you've changed career, or something else big has dropped away from your life. The crow/raven always signifies a death of some sort, but within that death is the rebirth, is the magic. Crows are deeply into the messenger, like, and this is why the news is, you know, it's the news, it's the messenger. In the quote-unquote olden days, the crows used to carry the scrolls in their beak and carry the news, yeah, carry the messages. So when you actually tap into the animal magic and totem spirit of crow, they are full of wisdom, they are full of messages, they are full of, so you can literally tap into history. It's almost like an Akashic record that you are tapping into with the crows. So I feel like for you, Shari, it's interesting with the man here, right? Now, whether there's a man in your life coming up, I feel like this is different. I feel like, and it's interesting that I literally just pulled that card. I was like, maybe this is a message for somebody. And then I pulled the card, right? When I pulled this, falling in love, and I said it's masculine and feminine balance within, but it's also about, you know, meeting, you know, a lover or something like that. But what I specifically feel for you, I'm covered in goosebumps as I say this, Shari, important message. So, you know, if there is someone hanging on or something, I know you've been through a lot, but I feel like working with the past life meditation to unhook past lover stuff of what I don't know, like, and I'm getting the message to do the past life meditation 3 times. So you know how I say to do it 3 times, doesn't have to be back to back, just over the next month or whatever, right? To purposely unhook, you know, like, and it's interesting because what I'm getting the message for is not directly related to someone physical in this today, if that makes sense. Even though it might like be a logical thing to go, oh well, like I'm unhooking from this relationship of this person in front of me, like, you know, but I don't actually feel that. And it's so interesting because I feel like doing the past life meditation, hey, maybe you only need to do it once, trust intuition over what I say, but I feel like doing it is going to not unhook. There's something there about a commitment or a vow that you've made to a past lover that's almost stopping and blocking you from meeting them again in this life or something. Like, I don't know, there's something there with that. And it's just significant that I'd actually, you know, as I said before, pulled that card. So maybe there is somebody on the horizon, and maybe that card was for you because of the raven. And it's interesting, so you know how I posted the other day as well, is like, be your own knight in shining armor. And so I feel like this has a representation in that as well, because of the, like, you know, oh my god, because of the masculine feminine balance of what I just pulled for that card. And I should have just left it out, but I didn't. And look at the card I accidentally picked up, like, honor the masculine. If you need like any more like signs or confirmation, hello, I'm just going to pull the masculine card out as well, because I literally put that card back and I should have just left it out. Oh dear, how's the irony? Oh dear. So the crow, so be your own knight in shining armor. I'm crushing on someone. Okay, so that's probably why this is coming up. There's some unlock that needs to happen there. Whether it's, you know, like about them in the past life, or whether it's unlocking someone else in the past life so that you can move forward with this person. There's something in that. But crows and the ravens will be, around with that. That's the message. That's the message from the crow. Spirit never fails to amaze me. It's so awesome. Magpie first today seriously wanted my attention. Oh my goodness, I should put it on my story. Today I was talking to a client on WhatsApp, and so like clearly like listening to their message out in the tree. So, you know, if you see my story, you'll see my office today, and out in the tree, like literally right there, this big beautiful parrot. And I was like, oh, it's not a 28, and I couldn't place what it is, but I googled it after it, and it was a beautiful king parrot. So the king parrot is like, it's, is it red or green on its wings? I think it's like all red on the front, and it's just got these beautiful bright green wings. I think that's the one is the male, I think, when I googled about it. So the king parrot was like so clear, and it sat there for ages while I was listening to this whole message on WhatsApp, and I was like, wow, this is really significant. And so I put it in. And you know, and the other significant thing about the birds at the moment, especially parrot, is kunzite, is the heart healing. And hey, we're on like heart chakra week. So and Shari, I just wanted to share too, the bottom card of the deck is actually the dolphin. So I pulled the crow from this deck, and the bottom card is the dolphin, which in the liquid crystals is spiritual healing, which is emerald. And the emerald, spiritual healing, emerald has been coming up. I'm pretty sure it came up in our Trust Intuition group. I don't know, it was, wasn't it? It was, because one of my inner circle client and in Trust Intuition, she was right next to the beach, and she's like, there's dolphins jumping out. So I feel like for a lot of us, there's a lot of this coming into a time of happiness, a time of joy, a time of celebrating, you know, like there's been a lot of work done, and now it's time to really allow that heart space. Your shadow crystal is kunzite. Yeah, amazing. All right, perfect. So yeah, the birds, heart chakra. Birds are deeply related to the heart chakra. Yeah, time to let that happiness in, but unlock that past. All right, I was going to do another one, but I'm feeling like, no, reached my limit with the psychic readings. I was like, yes, 20 minutes. I'm like, yeah, okay, almost an hour later, of course. So thanks for joining me live, guys. And my 2021 psychic forecast is out. You probably have seen it. There's a lot of people that grabbed my 2020 psychic forecast and still, like, over the past few months, they're like, I just listened to your forecast again for like end of this month and like it's right on point. I'm like, oh, that's good to hear. Over that entire year, I was just like, wow, I must be pretty on tune. So the 2021 psychic forecast is out. To get ahead, I did put a 3-month payment plan on there for you guys just to make it easier. So, and I've released it now. That's why it's so early, so that you can get in if you need that payment plan option. I've just put the link in the comments there for you guys. So yeah, you're so welcome. You missed these lives with me. I'm back. I'm in flow, and I'm so excited to release this upcoming course because that's what downloaded this morning, and I've been getting all the signs for it, and I'm a little bit excited because it's very, very near and dear and close to my heart, and it's like what humanity needs right now as well. So a little bit excited about this. So keep your eyes peeled. It's coming. And yeah, love you guys. See you soon.